I'm back to the good Weightlifting AI program. I talked about some of the reasons why I'm back on it in the community post. If you want to see that, I'll focus more on talking about the actual session and kind of just the week of training that I have, or at least a little bit of an overview of some of the things I'll be having on there. So I started out this session with some block above the knee snatch. They are originally going to be snatches from the floor, but because I had block above the knee, power clean, and jerk, I swapped it out for block snatches, which was actually one of the main three options. I'm going to kind of try to keep that rule that if I do swap an exercise, it is truly one of those three options, at least as much as I can. I know in the past, if I wanted to do like only no foot snatches, I might have to like make my own complex with something like that, but that's a pretty minor change. Like I'm going to try to stick with what's on there, as much as I possibly can, but also it's important to use logic when you're picking different exercises as well. These triples were really hard. The original program was 3x3 at like 97, so I just bumped it up to 100, and they weren't very good, at least initially, but they got better as I went on, and they weren't the most consistent. It's definitely a movement I'm happy to get back to. I do love above the knee block snatches. I hate above the knee block power cleans, but with snatches, they always feel really good, and I was starting to feel a good technique with them, as one with the explosion, which is always kind of the best aspect of them. You kind of really feel full extension pretty consistently, but also I was feeling, as I was going under, a more explosive turnover. And I don't know if this is necessarily particularly this exercise or a lot of the mobility and stretching and some like shoulder strengthening things I've been trying to do, just whatever like rehab crap you can find online from either Squat University or chiropractor people, just trying to really work on those shoulders and just trying to make them as mobile as possible, because I do get a tight spot between my shoulder and my trap in that area quite consistently. So I'm trying to work on that, trying to get more flexible in my upper body, and just trying to get that lockout to be as solid as possible. Obviously, getting stronger in that bottom position is a big thing that I need to get better at. As I mentioned, it was a 3x3 at 100, and I was feeling good with like the technique I was feeling, so I wanted to do more work and to push up a little bit, so I went to 110 for some additional sets and additional reps. I try to like put them in as accurate as possible. As you see, like some of them are like kind of missy makes, as Ilya might have, but they were like, in my mind, truly misses. Like that one, like I would count as like a 1 to 2 red, or 2 whites to 1 red or something, because I did catch it. But like some of the other ones were like pretty much misses, and I try to be pretty accurate with that, but it is kind of hard to assess for a multiple rep set if it's like all reds, or one red or 2 reds or something like that. But I tried to be pretty accurate to kind of how it looked, but also how it felt, how difficult both the reps were, or if it was like just purely technique or whatever with that. So trying to be pretty accurate with those. And mostly, if you understand how the system works, you give it white lights like you would in a competition. And if you give it 3 white lights over and over, it will eventually push up the weight. If you give it 1 white and 2 reds over and over, it'll eventually drop. And of course, if you put that you missed 3 reds, then it will drop the weight down a little bit. So it's supposed to be able to kind of change the loads based on how you're performing that day. With these, I pushed up slightly from where they were originally. So the first set I actually counted at 100, because it was originally like 103. So I did the first working set, quote unquote, at 100, and then I went to 105 for a set, and then it bumped me up a little bit, I think to like 109, some unholy number like that. So of course I just went to 110, and the power cleans were extremely difficult to do, and you eventually see that I missed one. Is it here? Yep, there's the one I missed. I took like a 30-second break and came back and made it. I was very happy with all the jerks. They were feeling really good, and I was able to kind of get the bar by my head more. And just the positions, the dip drive, everything about them felt really good. Just the jerks felt, the cleans, they were just horrendous. But at least the feeling of them. But block power cleans are the exercise only the devil would give you, but apparently the AI has been in talks with him about what I don't want to do. But, we got him done. I then had these tempo front squats here. As I was doing them, I've done tempo squats before, but not very consistently or for a very long time. Both of those are true, so not very consistently ever, nor have I done them in a very long time. But I was, when I looked at their information, it was like a 5-1 count, so 5 seconds descent, 1 second in the bottom, and just a normal stand up. I mostly just try to control the eccentric and try to get into the full position of the bottom of the squat slowly, and then use the normal stretch reflex to get up. So try not to dive bomb it and just control it all the way down and then go up normal. And certainly a difficult exercise. As you see, I didn't push up the weight at all. I gave the 3 RIR for all of them. With an exercise like this, it is kind of hard to use reps in reserve, but I always just kind of use that scale as like a RP type scale, where if it felt easy, felt like I could add more weight, I would give it a 4 or 5, even if I don't know if I could literally do 4 or 5 more reps, because I don't find that to be an accurate thing to use if you're assessing like how strong a set was. Like, there's a lot of times, I'll use my deadlift as an example. There's a lot of times I'll pull like a 270 kilo deadlift and I'd be like, that felt pretty good. It felt pretty easy, but I wouldn't be like, that's like a 5 RIR. I definitely have 5 more reps. Like, of course, at a certain point, you're not going to feel like you have more in the tank as far as repetitions go, but you can still do more weight. So the same is true of like sets of 4 like this. Like, I don't know if I could do a set of 9 or, even a set of 7 if I put 3 RIR. I always feel like I'm, whatever number I'm at is too much, especially in like a tempo movement like that. But that's just kind of a feel thing. And when you've lifted long enough, you kind of get a good feel of when you can add weight and when you shouldn't, for the most part. And then you kind of just always ignore it and just add weight in my case. But ended this workout with some squat jumps, or at least what they call squat jumps. They're really barbell squat jumps. And I did a set of 5 and a set of 10. It's really supposed to be three sets of 5, but I mean, it's not that big of a deal to do a set of 10, especially in a movement like this. I was surprised with how good those felt. I thought they would be really achy to do, but they felt really nice, and I felt dynamic doing them. Kind of weird to say, but yeah, I was pleasantly surprised that they didn't feel like trash, and I wasn't really sore from them. But a very productive first day. It can only get better from here. And of course, I would like those block snatches to be better, and I mean everything in the session to be better, to be honest. But it's a good first day. It's a good first step, and with the technique focus, hopefully I'm able to see some positive changes as I move through these 8 weeks. And then I feel like I should keep doing it at that point, and then I just keep rocking and rolling at that point, because it would be nice to kind of have a program that gives you stuff, even if you are changing it, to kind of peak you for whatever dates that you want to. But we'll see how it goes. I'll assess after this 8 weeks, so I suppose you can hang around and see how it's going. And if you do have any questions about the app or anything, I of course can try my best to answer them. I'm not sponsored or anything by them, unless they want to start giving me a discount code or something. But I don't mind helping people out if they have questions about it, because it is $40 a month if you sign up online. So that it does become a little bit more, it's a lot of money to put down on something. Although I think there is a discount if you pay for the full year at a time, which I don't know if I want to do at this point. I'll probably wait after this 8 weeks and then kind of assess from there, like I'm going to do for this block of training, but also just for the app in general. So we'll see. But that's it for this one. I'll talk to you on the next video. Peace.